In Splatoon, stages are some of the most important things in the game. I mean, you could shoot ink in midair, but I don't think it'll stick. So, there are currently 12 maps in Splatoon 3. 3 from Splatoon 1, 4 from Splatoon 2, and 5 new maps. And I decided to rank them all from worst to best. And I'll be ranking them in the Turf Wars mode, so no ranked modes here. I'm also obligated to say that this is my opinion, so if your favorite map is at the bottom, I'm so sorry for you. Number 12, Museum del Foncino. Now let me start off by saying, none of these maps in Splatoon 3 are bad, but Museum del Foncino is definitely my least favorite. The biggest thing is that the middle is way too cluttered. I like it when the middle is open with maybe a little cover or something like HAGGLEFISH Market. And I also don't like how this thing at spawn rotates. It makes the map a little too busy for my liking. It's still a fine map though, but it's my least favorite to play on. I also don't like how easily you can enter the enemy's spawn. You just have to climb up this tower and then you're basically in their spawn. Number 11, Wahoo World. People say that this map is the worst in the game, and though I don't think it is as bad as people make it out to be, I agree that it's not one of the best. This map is huge, with like 10 ways to go into the middle. What I also don't like is the top and bottom layers. I have had numerous times where I wanted to squid jump to someone who I thought was on the top, but was on the bottom instead. Besides that, the gimmicks are also a bit annoying. There are these platforms to the center that go in and out of the wall, and it's useful, but it can be really annoying sometimes, especially when you get pushed by enemies. Number 10, Undertow Spillway. Now we are slowly getting into the stages that I actually like to play on. And yes, Undertow Spillway is one of them. The last time I talked about Undertow Spillway, I said I didn't know what to think of it. Well, now I know. So the map is still a little too big for my liking. Just compare it to Hammerhead Bridge. Yeah, but it's not as big as I thought it would be. The battles on this map are also a bit awkward due to there not being a middle to fight in. More so, two paths right next to each other. Bundle that with having a glass ceiling for people to climb on, and you just get the stage that's pretty fun to play, but pretty hard to have some good fights in. Number 9, STURGEON Shipyard. This stage is a chaotic one, and overall I really like this map. The fights in the middle are really fun and hectic, even though the middle is a little too small for my liking. The thing is that most of the time, at least in my games, you aren't actually fighting in the middle, but in one of two teams spawn. The battles there are still fun, and you have more room there, but fighting in spawn just sets pressure on me, like, if I don't split them now, they'll get me in spawn, and it's harder to actually get into the field and ink more territory. But yeah, I really like this map, but I just like other maps more. Number 8, Inkblot Art Academy. This one was one of my favorite stages in Splatoon 2, and I'm glad they brought it back. Let's address the elephant in the room. The huge tower in the center of the map is pretty annoying. There is a big chance there will be someone with a splat charger or another long range weapon on there, and it has vision over almost the whole map. Most of the time when you're on top of the tower, you have almost full control over the whole stage. Sometimes you'll even be splatted in your spawn before you even had the chance to leave there. For the rest, it is a pretty basic map with some sides and a big spawn, but I overall fairly like this map. Number 7, Mahi Mahi Resort. Yeah, people are going to hate me for this, but Mahi Mahi Resort is also one of the most underrated maps in my opinion. It's chaotic as hell and I love it. I really like the gimmick of the water level dropping. The problem is that before that happens, the map is way too small. The middle is also a bit crowded, so most of the time you'll be seeing a wall, but I don't think it is as bad as people make it out to be. After the water comes up, it is a really fun stage to play on. Number 6, Hammerhead Bridge. This stage is long. Like I already showed you when I talked about Undertow Spillway, this stage is very long, but I like it a lot. Because basically everyone gets pushed into the middle and I love me some good 4v4 battles. There are these sites that people will go to from time to time, but most of the time you'll be hanging out in a really chaotic middle. Number 5, Scorch Gorge. Similar to Inkblot, this stage has a huge tower in the center, but this one is way less obnoxious than in that stage, because here you don't have a full view over the whole map. The spawns are blocked by these walls, which already makes the tower way less overpowered, and it's pretty easy to get on top of the tower from spawn with the enemy almost having no time to react. The spawns are also pretty balanced, as in they aren't easy to break into. To get into the enemy spawn, you will need to walk over the gate bridge, which is really risky, because if you turn into a squid, you will fall through the bridge. So you'll have to walk there. And also, this setting is pretty cool. Number 4, SPILLWAY Alley. SPILLWAY Alley is like putting a Splatoon stage in the middle of a city. That's maybe because that's exactly what it is, but it pulls it off almost perfectly. There's a huge middle with a bridge spanning over it, which can be annoying when an enemy is on top of there. But there is so much room to fight, ink, do whatever. There are many obstacles obstructing in the middle, which makes it a really fun experience to play on. The only thing that I would have loved to see more was more cover in the middle, because most of the time you'll be just walking or swimming and you'll get splattered out of nowhere. Number 3, Mincemeat Metalworks. This was actually the last new map I played in this game, and I am sad that I didn't experience this map earlier, because this map is really fun. It's set in a metal factory. The surroundings are grim and grey, and the map also has a lot of these gate bridges on it. It has a decently big middle with plenty of room to fight with, and a gate bridge spanning over the middle. I start to see a lot of resemblance. Yeah, although not identical, SPILLWAY Alley and Mincemeat Metalworks have a lot more in common than I thought. It's just a bit smaller and preferable for me personally. But similar to Scorch Gorge, it has some gate bridges leading to the spawn to balance out the spawns. But it's just a really fun map in general. Number 2, Hagglefish Market. Hagglefish Market is basically Hammerhead Bridge, but bigger. I really enjoy this map for the simple reason that it's just stupid fun. There is a lot of area to ink and a lot to take cover. There are some platforms on the side, the middle is big with some cover to take, and it's overall just a really fun map to play on. But at number 1 is Mako Mart. Notice how the best 2 maps in the game are just shopping maps? Let Nintendo make more of these, they're amazing. This map is my absolute favorite. It has the best middle of all, with a little high ground to get, and there is a block in the middle to get some cover. The area between the spawns and the middle are also pretty big, which has a lot of room for fighting and splattering, and it's not easy to run into enemy spawn. So yeah, overall it's just a really fun map to play on, and they'll really have to go out of their way to push this from number 1. So yeah, that was my favorite ranking of the currently 12 stages being in the game, and remember, they will add more stages over time, so maybe we will cover this topic again. My favorite maps are vastly different than yours, so feel free to let me know what your favorite maps are in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.